Hey everybody, Clint and Dave here. There is a third and probably final full trailer for Age of Ultron that just landed this morning.
Man.
And damn if we don't want to talk about it.
It was awesome!
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 5 things that we took away from this trailer. Now some of this is going to be conjecture about what we think is going to go on in the movie. So if that ain't your bag, here's your spoiler alert. Okay, Dave, one of the things?
Well, I think one of the things mainly is that it seems like that the Avengers are going to be fighting together a lot more in this movie than the first one.
Yes, and here lately, some of the cast members and Joss Whedon have been talking more and more about how the first Avengers film was about them coming together, but right off the bat, they're all fighting as a team in this one for like the whole movie.
Yeah. There's some amazing shots in there, like that shot where they're in the snow, right? And they're all jumping with one another. That's such a classic comic book shot.
Yeah, it looks like a panel of a comic book, which I think is amazing. And just seeing all 6 of them just like flying out of jeeps and explosions.
Exactly.
Looks amazing.
It just looks like overall, it looks like the entire movie based on this trailer is basically them all together doing stuff.
Yeah, working. Even you know, the Black Widow on the motorcycle, like picking up Cap's shield after, you know, it's all teamwork all the time in Age of Ultron is what it looks like. Okay, so thing number 2 that we're taking away from this, lots of innocent people gonna die.
Yeah, I think we all kind of assumed this, but they sort of, I think, clarified it with that line from Cap and him trying to save the people in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
It is definitely going to be real dark.
Big body count of innocent people, which is going to be interesting because that was a big knock on a lot of the movies that have come out lately.
Well, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel, it was a big knock on. Even like going back to like some of the last couple Transformers movies, just like laying waste to whole cities and like the disaster porn.
But the first Avengers, I felt like it almost seemed like there were kind of people there, but you never saw anyone really get hurt.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 shots of Hawkeye like bringing people out of a bus and shoving them off to the side, and so it's like hey, we got literally everybody out of Manhattan in this one shot.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see them just embrace that.
Yeah.
Like, we're causing all this destruction and all this chaos and all this death. Makes a lot of sense that they're doing that leading up to Civil War.
Exactly. Because Tony is going to be real guilty.
Which is another interesting thing about these trailers, as they've gone from trailer 1, 2, and 3, that they're more gearing us up for Civil War with these trailers for Age of Ultron, which I think is fascinating.
I totally agree with you. It's funny because I feel like I'm watching this just excited for the Civil War stuff I'm going to see.
Which is partially a concern because I feel like there's a chance for Age of Ultron to kind of fall into that Iron Man 2 trap of being more about like pulling threads together and setting up the future of the franchise than it is about what's going on in the actual movie. I don't think it's going to be. I hope it's not, but I think there's the potential for that to happen.
All right, now they also confirmed in this trailer that Loki's scepter will be playing a part. Now we saw Loki's scepter with Baron Strucker back during Winter Soldier.
Yeah, the end credit sequence.
Exactly, but we see Tony Stark holding it this time, and also on top of that, along with going with the same mystical nod, it seems pretty confirmed from this that Scarlet Witch is causing all of the infighting.
Yeah, which some of the random shots too, like the ballerinas and stuff, have to be from and you saw it was Captain America back in World War II. So Scarlet Witch is obviously playing with their heads and everything. So and I really like the idea that Tony Stark is grabbing Loki's scepter in this because if the scepter is going to be one of the Infinity Stones, like the mind control Infinity Stone, it makes sense that they would need that to combat the stuff that's going on with Scarlet Witch.
Oh, completely. And also I think is the reason why, because we're all wondering why is the Hulk fighting this Iron Man, because we know this Hulk is more under control than the normal Savage Hulk.
Or it could be Ultron controlling the Hulkbuster armor.
That's true.
Or it could be Tony Stark and Bruce Banner really pissed off at each other. Like, it could be any of them.
They got such a bromance going on.
I know, they're science bros.
They're the only ones going to understand one another.
Thing number 4, the last shot of the trailer is Vision opening his eyes, and they look like little camera irises, which I think is kind of fun. It's not that we saw the Vision, it's that they're still just teasing the Vision. Yeah. Which I think is great, because a lot of the posters, he's been like way in the background, floating like
backlit, you can hardly see him.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see everything in the trailer, right? Just a little bit of a tease is enough, and just the makeup looks amazing. Yeah. It's funny that Paul Bettany actually had to show up on set this time and do a little work.
Not just show up in a VO booth for a couple hours and leave with a sack full of money. You gotta work for a living.
And I'm really interested to see how they actually introduce him, because in the comic books originally he was created by Ultron to infiltrate the Avengers and destroy them. This one I almost feel like the same sort of Ultron had this sort of awakening that made him distinct. I almost wonder if the same thing happens to Jarvis to become Vision, but it's it's positive, not negative.
And again, it could go either way. It could be because for Ultron to then create Vision out of Jarvis is a big time you to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And that would be a really weird thing for him to have to deal with. But on the other side of that, Tony Stark to then like give Jarvis his own life is a really sort of poetic way to combat the other thing that he gave life to, you know? So it's like, again, could be either one.
Yeah. Also, this is really exciting. There was one really quick shot. It was like less than a second, but it looked like they showed some sort of claw. There was some sort of device in a guy's hand, and it shot out like Wolverine Claws.
Claw, you say?
Exactly. It looks like this might be their version of Claw's sonic emitter. Now, we know that Andy Serkis is playing Ulysses Claw, so it would make sense to have this, but it's really clever because the way it was cut along with the Hawkeye stuff, so like really quickly, it looks like it's just a piece of like Hawkeye's gear. But I'm a super nerd. I spend all my time finding freeze frames and trying to figure it out. And,
so that's a good pull, my man.
And thank you.
Because I just assumed it was Hawkeye stuff.
He looks like he has like a DirecTV dish on his hand usually for Sonic emitter. So who knows?
No Samsung dishes were harmed in the filming of Age of Ultron. All right, well, those are just 5 of the things that we noticed from this trailer. There's so many more, but those are the 5 we thought about. Let us know what other things you loved about this trailer. Any little Easter eggs that you found in there, let us know in the comments down below. Click like and subscribe, and come back next time for more movie news and CineFix now.
Yeah! Captain America's shield stabbed Ultron, and then like Quicksilver punched Captain America, and they had a robot beatdown.